everyone, it's Krista. Welcome back to Kingdom Lifestyle. It is so good to be with you today. I've been on quite the journey. So a quick announcement. Anybody who is not signed up for my one-on-one coaching sessions over on Faithia app, they changed it from InFaith to Faithia. I'm actually going to put my QR code down in the description box. You can click that, see my availability, and book directly through the app. It's incredible. We have been having the best time and I just love it. I feel so called to this and I love the one-on-one interaction with you guys. Like, I love YouTube and this is wonderful. I absolutely love making videos and sharing things and, encouraging. But there is something so special about one-on-one and being able to really pour into people, being able to disciple people how to pray when they're needing deliverance and when they're needing breakthroughs. So if that is you, please come over, book your session. I'm doing half off through next Thursday. So it's just $30 a session. And then we're going to kind of go from there. So anyway, if you have not done that, please do that. And I just look forward to talking to you and helping you in the areas that you're needing help in. So anyway, so I just want to talk to you guys today about walking closer with the Lord. And I have had a lot of talk about this the last couple of days of, what does that look like? And, what are some ways where you can grow closer with the Lord? And, how do you divide your thoughts from his thoughts? How do you divide your will from his will? How do you know that you're on the right path, even when he's silent? And so I just want to share a few tips with you guys today of how to understand those things a little bit better. One of the ways is whenever a lot of people do not know what to do when God is silent. And I am going to share with you from years of experience that there is going to be a lot of times in your walk where God isn't saying anything. And that, I think, is one of the hardest times for Christians because, we live in this flesh world, right? Where it's like, if you ask someone a question, they reply with an answer. We're used to everything kind of being that immediate gratification. If you have a question, you just Google it, boom, there's your answer. So it's so outside of our realm to be patient and to understand that when God is silent, when you are asking him something, it is generally 99% of the time, it's because you're on the right path and he doesn't need to tell you anything. And so that's something that I feel like is really important for people to understand, to stay encouraged in their walk, because that silent period can be so hard. But a great analogy for that, and I'm sure so many of you have heard it, is, the teacher is always silent during the test. And the thing with God is that he's given you everything to pass that test. And so if you're on the right track and he doesn't need to correct you to get you on the right track, there will be times of complete silence. And, I was reminded today of, when when God was bringing my husband and I together, when I first got that word that he was my husband, it went completely silent after that for 9 months on that subject. He didn't say another thing to me about it for 9 months. That is the time it takes for a pregnancy to go full term. I mean, that is quite the period of time. And, in my mind, I thought, all right, tomorrow we're going to be together. This is great. And so when we weren't, that was very discouraging. I learned so much in that experience because it's like, and then the next time he spoke to me regarding that, except for kind of like a healing word, was, you're getting married soon. And then that was when it was time. And then he started talking to me constantly. So it's just a thing. I was on the right path. He didn't need to tell me anything. I was exactly where I needed to be. I was going exactly in the direction I needed to go. I was learning all the things I needed to learn. I was being pruned and groomed in all of the ways that needed to happen for me to be ready for him when it was time. And so he didn't have to say anything. I wasn't going anywhere. And so I just wanted to share that with you guys. So if you're in that season where you've been given a word, but you've not been given anything else, it's walking by faith, not by sight. It's trusting that if you need to be corrected, God's going to say something. But if not, trusting him in the process, going with his spirit, walking in the spirit. I told a woman that I was talking to that whenever you are walking in God's will and you are, maybe, walking out a word that he's given you, you're going in the direction you need to go, that it's about you and him. So especially if this is having to do with like a relationship or getting married, take the person out of it and make it your walk with the Lord. Everything you do, make it your walk with the Lord, and you include other people in it. Always keeping him first. Seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all these things will be added to you. And so it's always keeping him first. It's always, how are we going to do this, God? What do you want me to do, Lord? And then you let other people in on that journey that are supposed to come along with you, but it's always you and him. And it's so much fun that way. It is so safe that way. If you're somebody who's afraid of being hurt because you've been let down, you've been hurt, God's not going to hurt you. God's not going to let you down. You have no idea how much he thinks of you, how much he loves you, how much he delights in you, how much he wants to give you every good thing. He is not like man. He's not like people. He's like nobody you've ever met. And so it's just a thing where when you have that relationship with the Lord, you have to truly trust him and give him everything. He wants everything, because with God, nothing is ever just kind of waste. It's all usable. It's all for every bad thing that you encounter. He will turn it for your good. So, whatever that is, whatever you may be facing, God is going to work it out for your good. And it may not be in your time. It will be in his time, but it will always be on time. And so just keep praying and keep seeking him. And, that was another thing we were talking about today was, and I mentioned this in a previous videos, whenever there's this wonderful woman I was speaking to said, that the difference with my prayers was the authority behind them. And I said, it's from the track record that I have with the Lord of knowing he answers my prayers. And I want everybody to have that track record that they can look back on and say, God's faithful. He answers my prayers. Again, it's not going to be in my time, but it's going to be on time. And I know that. And you will boldly approach him in ways that you never have. And you will tell a mountain to move, and it's moved. You may not see it immediately, but it's already happened. And I know that. And I want you to know that. And so it's just a thing of really walking in the Spirit, really trusting in the Lord, and just walking with him in everything that you do. And yeah, so anyway, it's just a short, encouraging word. But yeah, so yeah, just, kind of what do you do in those times when you don't really know what to do? The worst thing you could do is give up. I will tell you that. Every day, wake up and pray the same prayers. Some people may not really need a lot of warfare. Some other people, you got to do it every day. But sometimes it's just contending for your destiny. And, whether you, are just declaring and decreeing every day. But when you're in a waiting season, or you're just going about your business and things are just normal, write a list of the things that are God's promises and that you feel like he has for you, or that you desire in your heart and that he's for it. Write that out, and every day go into prayer time with the Lord. Give him the first fruits of your day. Read your Bible and then declare out what you've written every day and watch things change. You will not be in the same place a year later, I guarantee you. I think a lot of things with our Christian walk is consistency. It's showing up for the Lord every day and showing up, standing in faith, saying, these are my petitions. This is what I'm contending for. This is what I'm declaring and decreeing out over my life, and watching your mouth and not destroying your prayers with doubt and unbelief. It doesn't mean we don't have moments of it. We're human, but it's just taking it to the Lord and saying, Lord, help my unbelief. And having almost like a righteous indignation against it and saying, no, I declare this and I decree this because this is mine. You know, it's always warring in that opposite spirit and not letting the enemy convince you that you don't deserve it, or that that's not yours, or God wouldn't do that for you. Why would he do that for you? Well, I'll tell you why he'd do that for you, because he has unlimited resources. God doesn't have to check with the higher ups if he can bless you. That is the Lord. He wants to bless you because you're his child, because he made covenants with Abraham, because you're grafted in, because those covenants are yours. Those blessings and those promises are yours. And that's why. And I just want people to really understand that it's a legal right that you have to blessings and to peace and to the things that God has for you. And I think we just really have to seek his will on it and be okay with whatever his will is, but always be contending for what you know is yours. You know, if you're sitting in poverty and you're struggling, that's not from God. That's a curse. You know, you war in the opposite spirit against that. If you're struggling with depression, that's not from God. Those are things you war against. Those are things you contend. You contend for your joy. Ask the Lord, restore the joy of my salvation. You know, it's things like that. If you're separated from your children, you fight for that. You know that's not God's will. It's really saying, is this of God or is this not? You know, when it comes to waiting for a spouse, or, you know, wanting that person that you're going to be equally yoked with, let God bring them to you and pray for the attributes that you want. Pray for the things that you want that you know are of God, and then let God do the rest. And then it's not on you. And so some of that is just letting God be God and being okay no matter what happens, as far as just no matter what, you're going to serve him and you are going to be loyal to him, and you're going to just love the fact that he is there with you every day. It's just really a very simple thing. I'm just really enjoying God's presence and living in it every day. But anyway, that's all I have for today. I gotta go, but I love you guys. I'm gonna link that below, that QR code. Book your session with me, and I would just love to do a one-on-one and get to know you guys better. So I appreciate you, I love you, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.